Hello everyone. My name is Rani. I am studying at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today I am going to give presentation on the Instead story on shared libraries and dynamic loading. Let's see the contents. So, introduction: what are shared libraries and dynamic loading, benefits of shared libraries and dynamic loading, and potential drawbacks, and the conclusion. So let's see the introduction of shared libraries and dynamic loading. Shared libraries and dynamic loading are essential components of modern software development. So, as we seen in software development or making any application, there are some libraries, like there are some documents which can be inherited, which can be taken from libraries, which are shared. So these libraries are mostly useful in software development or application development. They allow multiple programs to use the same code, reducing redundancy and increasing efficiency. So here redundancy in the sense duplicates. So it reduces duplicates and it will reuse the same code and increase the efficiency. And they are multiple programs, they allow multiple programs to use the same code, reducing redundancy and increase efficiency. In this presentation we will explore the inner workings of shared libraries and dynamic loading, including their benefits and potential drawbacks. Let's understand what is shared libraries. So, shared libraries are collections of precompiled code that can be accessed by multiple programs at the same time. So, shared libraries, if we take any simple example in the coding, for example, if you'd like to execute C programs, you if you want to use some math functions, like if you want to use power functions, square root functions, you just import the math header file. You just import the math header file and shares you use some of the functions in it, like square or power. So these are libraries which are stored and you are using that are shared libraries. So here shared libraries are collections of precompiled code. So the code is already has been precompiled and you are reusing it. That is precompiled code that can be accessed by multiple programs at the same time. They are typically stored in a central location on the system and loaded into the memory as needed. So they are being in the central location on the system and loaded into memory when needed. This allows programs to share common functions and resources, reducing the amount of code duplication and improving performance. So this could be result in sharing the common functions and resources, and reducing the amount of duplicate. So if you write the same code again and again and again, that will be low of performance, that will be inefficient, and that will be redundancy. So that can be eradicated, that can be finished and improving performance. Dynamic loading. So let's understand what is dynamic loading. Dynamic loading is a technique used by operating systems to load shared libraries into memory only when they are needed. So, we have understood the concept of shared libraries, right? We have understood the concept of shared libraries. So, here dynamic loading. Dynamic loading is loads loads the shared libraries into memory only when they are needed. Only when they are needed. That's it. That are They are dynamic loading. So this saves memory and improves performance by reducing the amount of code that needs to be loaded at the startup. And so this saves the memory from not loading any unimportant data or unnecessary data into the memory, and improves performance by reducing the amount of code that needs to be loaded at startup. So it just loads the important things that are important, not important, they are needed things, only needed things that will be loaded into the memory, and which will be efficiently used. Dynamic loading also allows programs to load and unload shared libraries at runtime, which can be used for plugins and other modular applications. So dynamic loading allows the programs to load and unload. See, when you are using the libraries, when you are using some functions, let's say you, as we took the C program example, you use math function like power square root you have used, and after that you should unload also. You should unload the shared libraries also. That can be done through dynamic loading at runtime. Okay, which can be useful for plugins and other modular applications. So when we plugins in the sense in applications in create in development of any applications, there will be like loading some libraries from the systems, from any other application. You are loading some libraries, you are loading some the data which is interconnection, which is shared. So this will be done using plugins, which can be useful for plugins and other modular applications. So let's see the benefits of shared libraries and dynamic loading. There are many benefits to using shared libraries and dynamic loading in software development. They reduce code duplication, improve performance, and make it easier to maintain and update the software. As been seen the benefits, here it will reduce the redundancy, improve the performance, and make it easier to maintain and update software. They also allow for greater flexibility. In application design, as modular components can be added or removed without affecting the rest of the system. So, flexibility, when we need it, we use it. When we need it, when we need, we will use. And if we want to change anything or if you want to remove anything, we will just remove it. But the rest of the code will not be disturbed. Only the needed thing will be taken, used, and kept it back. And if you want to change anything, you will just change it and you will just keep it back. So that is the process is going on in dynamic loading and shared libraries. So that are the benefits of it. And it just reduce redundancy, it improves performance, make it easier to maintain and update softwares, and it is flexibility, and you can easily remove and add the things. So here let's understand the picture. Here I have given the static library and shared library. So here let's assume there are two applications, application A, application B. Here application A is static library, uses static library, application B uses static library. So there are some different functions in both of them. Something let's take example like application A uses some Python libraries, application B uses some C sharp libraries or C libraries. These are different, they are not the same libraries to share. So they are application A is different, application B is different. Either in shared library, on the other hand, in shared libraries, application A and application B use shared memory, in which in shared library there will be the functions of Python and C sharp and C, which will be shared among application A and application B. That is shared memory. And yeah, let's understand the other picture. See, Linux libraries, we have thousands of functions, thousands of comments in the Linux. So there are two types of things, that is static and shared, right? So static in the sense there will be not be common in everything, that will be different. And shared in the sense every the program you write will be shared, some shared libraries from this. Okay. And in the shared there are two types: dynamic linking, dynamic loading. So dynamic loading in the sense running the code at the runtime, and which we are now understanding the concept of dynamic loading. So this is the example and the difference between static library and shared library. And let's see the potential drawbacks. While shared libraries are dynamic loading offer many benefits, there are also some potential drawbacks. We have seen like the both as I said before the example, The Python and C sharp functions are stored in shared memory. That is the most benefit, and which reduces redundancy and which is easy and efficiently. We have seen all of, and also flexibility. We have seen all these benefits. Let's see some drawbacks also. One of the main concerns is security, as malicious code could potentially be loaded into memory via a shell. See, we have sharing the memory, we are sharing the library. Sorry, we are here sharing the libraries. So there may be that something malicious is shared. See, let's say something malicious is loaded into the memory, which will be shared to other files, other resources, other important and security softwares that may use that will use the shared memory, and which can be virus to that, and which will be which is like affect which will affect that software, and which is uh, result in inefficient, and which will result in loading of virus. So this is the main concern in security. So this is the this this damages the security of the software. So one of the main concern is security, as malicious code could potentially be loaded into memory via a shared library. Another concern is versioning. Different programs may require different versions of the same shared library, leading to compatibility issues and conflicts. So we have seen like Python uses some different versions, C Sharp uses some different versions, and there may be compatibility issues. This is the main two drawbacks we have seen. That is loading the malicious code, which will be result in affecting the softwares and applications, and also uh, you different applications use different versions that will be resulting compatibility issues. So conclusion: shared libraries and dynamic loading are powerful tools for modern software development, providing numerous benefits in terms of performance, flexibility, maintainability, and reduce of redundancy and efficient. Okay. However, it is important to be aware of the potential drawbacks and take appropriate measures to mitigate them, such as implementing security protocols and carefully managing versions. So here we have seen the benefits of shared memory, what is shared memory, what is dynamic loading, what is the how they are interconnected, and we have seen some examples, and we have seen the static uh, libraries also. We have seen static libraries with example. I have seen, and with the and what are the benefits of it, and we have seen the drawbacks also. So the main drawback is that a version and the loading some malicious code. So we have to keep in the mind, and we have to provide some security to it. We have to maintain some protocols uh, to not spoil, to not affect the other softwares and applications by loading some malicious code into memory. So this should be taken into mind, and according to it the action should be taken. So here I am going to conclude my presentation. Thank you.